afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the PMAP Project Share. Before we begin, we'd like to invite you to join us in a minute of prayer, to be followed by the Philippine National Anthem and the PMAP hymn.
Dear God, thank you for the opportunity to meet together. Please help us to come together to make this institution reflect your kingdom. Breathe life into our ideas and decisions. Help us build a team that has love and respect at its heart. Give us the strength to continue working for your kingdom in this time of pandemic. Lord, come give us the inspiration to be the best we can be. May we be a shining example of your goodness and truth within, wherever we are. Inspire our thoughts, discussions, and ideas, and continue to remind us that all that we do here today, all that we accomplish, is for the pursuit of truth for the greater glory of you. We ask these things in your name. Amen.
Ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Alam ng puso, sa lilim ko'y buhay. Luang hihirang, bulitan ang makiting. Sa manlulupig, di ka pasisiki. Sa dagat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit kong buka. May tinatang tula, awit sa paglayang minamahal. Ang isat ng wataw, ako'y tagumpay na nagiging. Ang bituing at araw niya, kailan pa may magiging. Lumanang araw ng alhalik ang sinta, ngunit ang isakin mo. Ang hindi kaya anak may mahati, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo. We pledge our loyalty to Pima, upholding mass respect and dignity, promoting closer ties and harmony, to keep our stand of unity. We believe in our goal for a strong economy. We believe in the role of industry. We seek for guidance to our Pima when problems come of management and men. Oh, where to keep the faith and trust that we have of our fellow men. Oh, where to keep the faith and trust that we have of our fellow men.
Ayan, good afternoon everyone. Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. Welcome to Project Share, My name is Gemma Duque Gomez. I will be your moderator for today. So we are currently live in Facebook and in YouTube. Kaya binabati natin ang mga viewers natin, ang mga nanonood sa ating live streaming for today. And we also have attendees in our Zoom webinar. Ayan, good afternoon po sa inyong lahat. So we are going to begin our session. Now, before we do that, before we jump right away to our discussion, okay, gusto namin bigyan kayo muna ng background or overview about what Project SHaRE is. Okay. So let me go. Okay. So the background of this is, okay, we have MSMEs in the Philippines, or the micro, small, or medium enterprise. And out of the almost 1 million enterprises operating in the Philippines, 99.58% are MSMEs. So dun pa lang makikita niyo na yung contrast to the large enterprises, which is only 0.42%. This Project SHaRE is for our MSMEs. This is free for you all. Dahil nagpo-produce ng mas maraming jobs ang ating MSMEs as compared to our large enterprises. So, makikita natin yung significance na ginagawa ng ating micro, small, and medium businesses in the country. So, yung data po na yan is from dti.gov.ph po yan. Ayan. So, what can we do as PMAP? Like I said, this Project SHaRE is for you all. So, this is our community service and giving back to the country and to the community. Ayan. We want to help our MSMEs strengthen their human resource management practices, okay, by being able to manage their most important resource, which is their people. So how are we going to do this? So we will be assisting yung ating mga MSMEs to enhance their knowledge, their skills in HR practice through an assembly of HR experts, or our panelists. Yan. We invited panelists for today, or experts in their field, okay, na sasagot ng inyong mga questions. So, we will be discussing mga pressing issues, mga concerns, sites, share experiences from their current organization, guided by the questions that was submitted by our registrants online. Okay. So, speaking of our panel of experts, would like to introduce to you each and every one of them.
Register. And we have students joining us today, as well as about 5%, their title is either president, CEO, or owner of the company. So we have a very wide range of, type audience today. So I hope we'll be able to engage all of them this afternoon.
All right. Thank you po, Ms. Janine. Yes, we have a variety of audience today. No? Iba-ibang background po meron sila, and they're all hoping to learn from you. Yan. Okay, thank you, Ms. Janine. So we'll go to our next panelist. Ayan, one of our lead commentors, Ms. Elizabeth Dinasol, DPM. Ms. Beth, could you please say hi to our audience?
Hello, can you see me? Hi.
Yes.
Good afternoon, everyone, and I'm very happy there are about 105 people who will be willing to interact with us and ask us questions, because this is an opportunity for us to share some of the experiences that we've had in our own workplace. No? So keep your questions coming, because this is an opportunity for us to share and learn from each other. So enjoy this learning afternoon. Thanks, Jamay.
Thank you po, Ms. Beth. Yes, truly something to look forward to, kasi iba-iba nga po talaga yung pwede nating matutunan from you all as experts. Okay, and our next panelist, ayan, marami po naman nakakakilala dito. I don't think he needs introduction, but we'll also ask him to introduce himself. Attorney Josephus B. Jimenez, DPM. Attorney JBJ.
Okay, good afternoon. The boys call me JBJ. The girls call me anytime. I am the oldest among the panelists. I have 25 years of experience in the corporate world. In San Miguel Corporation, 12 years. in Pepsi Cola 5 years, and about 3 years or more in Petron. So San Miguel, Petron, Pepsi Cola. Pinaghalo-halo yan. And then I have 20 years experience in the government, private sector, and then in the academe. I have been teaching since 1969. I am older than PMAP. I was already born when PMAP was founded. So you can ask me any question even before the labor code. I was part of the young lawyers who were recruited by the government to prepare the implementing rules of the labor code. So I'm now consultant of Congress in the revision of the labor code because the Speaker of the House is my student. He was my student in one of the universities in the College of Law. So you can trust that I will be open to answer your questions. So please keep it coming and we will be ready and happy to answer them. Thank you. Mabuhay.
Thank you so much, Attorney JBJ. Ayan, pag si Attorney JBJ talaga, marami siyang pwede talagang mai-share kasi he's been in a lot of different big companies as he mentioned. Kaya looking forward talaga tayo kapag nandyan si Attorney JBJ. Thank you, Attorney. Okay, and we have another one, ayan, si Ms. Nerissa Mendoza, CMC, who will be our panel of experts for compensation and benefits. And thank you so much for also accommodating us sa talent acquisition. Ms. Nerissa, please say hi to our audience. Ayan.
Right. Thank you, Jemai. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Right.
Paul, we can hear you.
North, middle, and south of the Philippines. If I will have to speak with our audience coming from the Visayas, probably I can say with competence, no? Maayong hapon sa inyong lahat. Although I cannot speak Ilocano, kasi that's the northern part of the Philippines, so I'll just use magandang hapon and mabuhay sa inyong lahat. It's a pleasure to see 100+ people in this forum, and what I can share with you this afternoon is sinisigurado ko sa inyo mas bata ako kay Attorney JBJ, no? Pero sabi nga nila, pwede mo naman siyang tapatan kasi kasama ko siya, no? And I salute him, and I was a member of his awards committee during his dispensation, and we worked together. So hopefully my consulting experience can bring a lot to your workplace and to your practice and to your challenges. And as the others have said, keep the questions coming and we will respond according to your needs. Thank you once again.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Neri. Thank you so much. Thank you to all the panelists for sharing your time with us. Alam ko po, sobrang precious ng time ninyo. So, yung expertise and time ninyo, sobrang hindi matatawaran talaga yan. So, unfortunately, we are missing one panelist because of an emergency. Ang ating treasurer, Mark Hernandez, needed to attend to an emergency kaya wala po siya ngayon. But the good news is marami tayo pa ring expert who will be able to answer questions on talent acquisition kasi talagang very well-rounded sila. Ayan. Thank you, thank you. Now, of course, I am Jemai. I will be your moderator for today. So yes, I'm also in the HR field and I will try to contribute as I can in the discussions, but I think sila pa lang talagang masasagot na talaga yung questions ninyo. So what I will try to contribute is bring you energy and make this engaging kasi hanggang 5 p.m. po tayo today. Ayan. So you've met us, you've met the panelists for today, and again, what we try to bring to you is yung expertise ng ating mga experts para masagot yung mga tanong ninyo. So marami po tayong mga greetings ngayon, mga bumabati sa ating Zoom. Ayan, so may mga nag-hello. Ayan, kilala nila sa Attorney JBJ. Good afternoon. Ayan, so you can also type in saan po kayo ngayon, where are you attending our Project Share webinar. Ayan, maayong hapon. Ayan, so everyone's greeting, everyone's engaged. So this is a good start for us Yan. So I guess we can, Ishi, no, start with our Q&A portion. Okay. So parang sa Miss Universe lang po tayo. Q&A portion po tayo. So for each slide, we will focus on one facet of HR, then 2 questions. So I will pose the questions. We'll call on the panel of experts to lead, and then the rest can also give their inputs later on. So meron tayong viewer or attendee from Cebu City rin. So, yeah, all over from the Philippines. That's nice. All right. So if the panelists are ready, let's begin with our Q&A. Yes. Okay. So we'll start with talent acquisition, and for this one, let's call Miss Neri now to be standing in for Mr. Mark Hernandez. 2 questions. Number 1, best resource right now to find qualified candidates because of our situation, in our current situation. And can you share recruitment tips during this ongoing pandemic?
Okay, Gemma, thank you. Let's try to focus on the keywords on the 2 questions. First one is finding qualified candidates. No? So parang may bato na agad yan, no? Marami bang qualified o talagang kukunti? That's one, no? And the other one is recruitment tips, right? Now, if we look internally into the organization, no? Ito malimit nakakalimutan. So I'm speaking in English and Filipino, guys. Ha? So masarap namang gamitin yung language natin. So find in your warehouses, sabi nga nila, no? Remember that you have the best talents. Sabi nga nyo, the best talents, the most valuable assets are our people. So dun pa lang makakakuha ka na, no? Now some practices, of course, no? Ito na yung sinasabing recruitment tips, no? Practices, sabi nila, noteworthy, best practices. Meron tinatawag na incentives, no? For insiders, no? They can recommend people who are shy that they can be qualified to a job, or outsiders whom they think can be brought into the organization. No? So, simple. Kasi kung nakakulong ka at work at home ka, no? Mahirap lumabas. So, obviously, from the inside, mine the talents, as we say. No? Of course, the traditional way to find talents, advertise mo. Sabi nga nila, may job street dati, pero ngayon, they're in the social media, no? And if I may cite, without having to advertise LinkedIn, no? I'm not advertising LinkedIn, but it comes across as a very good source of candidates, no? Candidates. And there's so much interaction that happens, so that just like, again, without having to advertise the social media, no? Just like Facebook, pag ipinasa mo yan, tuloy-tuloy na yan, pumapasa na yan kani-kanino, no? So, those are the things that you can still do, no? So, hindi tayo nakikripon because of where we are now. There are still qualified candidates. We just have to be more creative looking for them. And it's the same techniques, no? Except that maybe getting in touch with them is through a screen or a glass, right? Like, and of course, telephone, no? Hindi masyadong ginagamit yung cellphone, no? The voice side of the cellphone, mas malimit yung data and something that we see on screen. But these are still very valuable inputs to getting qualified candidates and getting them into the organization.
Correct, correct. So we utilize the online resources these days, no? Because of our situation nga, talagang mas maraming makikita tayo or mahahanap through our social media. Yan. Any additional inputs po from our panelists before we move po to our nasagot na rin pala yung second question, yung tips, no, during the pandemic. Any other insights po that you'd like to share from our panelists?
Meron akong may dagdag dyan, Ma'am Neri.
Yes, sir.
Based on my experience, most of the problems that we have about behavior of people in the organization, merong pagkukulang yung talent acquisition natin dahil more focus tayo sa IQ. Wala tayong focus on character. So we are bringing into the organization a lot of highly talented people whose behavior are not aligned with the company expectation. So my input is please consider character, attitude, habits, and behavioral patterns as part of the decision-making factors when you acquire talent and bring into the organization people who are not only talented but whose behavior can be modified and adjustable and flexible to help the organization, especially in times of emergency and crisis like this.
Wow, very, very nice po yan, no? So, answering yung qualified candidates in our current situation in our organization in a tip, no? So, do not focus on IQ, but also on the behavior, on EQ side. Yeah. Thank you, Attorney JBJ. Anything else po? How about you, Miss Janine? Baka you have anything to add?
Well, yung the point of Attorney Jimenez is so true, no? And for example, in Manila Water, because we were recruiting a lot and we saw a period in our hiring where we're losing a number of talents dahil, the interest is not there. So one of the things we did is to implement some form of assessment just to check their interest. No? There are assessment tools available. Of course, it depends on what your company can afford. But if you can, what we try to do is to do we are using, not to advertise, but we're using Harrison assessment. No? It measures personal traits and qualities that we find very useful. It actually helped us curb attrition in one of our management development program, because we find that there are certain profiles that really work well for the kinds of job that we have.
Correct. So,